My name is Logan Hubick. I'm interviewing Fred and Joyce Johnson. I'm grade 10 at William Derby School. And I don't know, just start. Were you guys born around this area, or were you from somewhere else?
I was born in Govan.
You were Govan?
Yeah.
So was I.
Yeah. When?
West
Like?
December the 5th, 1925.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And I was in October 1934.
Okay. Okay. So you guys lived on farms, right?
Yeah.
So did you have like a specific job when you were younger, or did it change as you grew up, or?
No, I went from school to farming.
Oh, just right from school to farming?
Yeah.
Okay. And
I took my grade 12, and then I went to Regina and took a business course. In Regina at Belfort Tech.
Okay.
And then I worked for 2 years at the Department of Highways, and then I got married and went to the farm.
Which generation of your family brought the roots over? Like, was it your great grandfather or your grandfather, or who brought the roots over from Europe?
My father
Your father did?
came over from England in 1902, and he took up his homestead in 1904.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about you?
My dad was born in the States. His parents had come from probably Russia. And then they moved up to Canada in the early 1900s as well. And he farmed west of Duval and married my mother, who came from Guernsey, and our home was west of Govan.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that's where I spent my years until I got married, which wasn't too many years miles apart, about 6 or 7.
Okay.
Yeah, and we farmed there. Fred farmed for.
So growing up, did you guys have any like particular favorite memory of growing up on the farm, good or bad, like a event or something that happened?
We had to milk cows and work in the garden and look after chickens and all that kind of stuff.
Did the hard work.
Yes.
Your own entertainment.
Yeah.
A lot of the time.
So what would you do for your own entertainment, like?
Oh, I don't know. I was always mechanically inclined.
Okay.
And if I found some old engine that I could work on to even maybe get running, that was something I really enjoyed. You know?
Good. What about you? Did you have anything to do in your leisure time that you enjoyed?
We played ball, and I went to country school, which was what you did then.
Yeah.
There were country schools maybe about 6-7 miles apart, and the odd time you'd get together and play ball against the other team or something like that. And the highlight of the week would be going to town Saturday night. That's the only time we really got to go to town. And we'd maybe go to the odd movie or something like that.
Movies in like Regina or
in Govan?
Govan. Okay, in Govan.
Yeah. And in the country schools, you always had dances or card games or something like that. So you'd go there maybe on a Friday or Saturday night.
Good.
That was good.
Going to town Saturday night was a big thing in them days.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so.
Yeah.
Would you guys make any trips to like larger centers like Regina or?
I never really got to know. Our parents would get up about 4 or so in the morning and leave for Regina, and that wasn't very often, a couple of times a year.
Somebody's got to stay behind and look after everything.
We had to go to school and look after everything when we got home, and we never really went to Regina much. Well,
We
I
didn't
suppose
either,
maybe,
no.
well, when we lived in Regina then, but we never got to go too often.
No.
No, that was way distant,
Yeah,
Yeah.
miles apart.
Mm-hmm.
So, have you noticed, like, what's the biggest change you've noticed from growing up in your generation to this one? Like, have you noticed any big changes throughout the years?
Well, the big change was going from horse farming to power farming,
Yeah, like,
I would say.
Mhm.
And then later on, the electronic and the computer age.
Oh,
Yeah. I would say be one of the biggest
Yeah.
changes.
It's all a little much when you get introduced to it now, eh?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Used to thrash. You heard
Yeah.
of thrashing, you know, and
Oh yeah.
And that was a big deal in harvest time. First cut it with the binder and then stook it, and then we
Yeah.
took part in that stooking, which wasn't fun.
No.
And then hauling it to the thrash machine, and it was slow going.
Yeah, no, I heard about that from my dad when he worked with my
Yeah.
grandpa or
Yeah.
great grandpa.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It
yeah.
really was a hard life, you know.
Yeah.
But farming
But,
was a good life
in
too.
a lot of ways, it was a good life, though.
Oh yeah.
If we had a
Gave you
second
something
round,
to work
I'd
towards.
still
Yes.
try it again.
Yeah. And you know, you as a kid, you always had something to help out with on the
Oh, yeah.
farm. You know,
Never bored. or
never
out of
bored.
work.
No.
No, not
And
really.
you'd go out in the winter time and you'd make your own fun, and you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was quite different than now.
So there was-
You had no TV or nothing to.
Yeah. So there was more leisure time in the winter to do what you wanted.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
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 And we, you know, our parents played cards with us, or crokinole, or things like that, and
Yeah.
you always had homework.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Didn't
kept you
always
busy.
get it done, but
yeah, that's yeah.
So did you guys ever have like difficult times growing up on the farm, or
Yes, even after we were married,
Yeah.
things were not
Oh, yeah.
easy. You know,
like
you never knew when your next dollar was coming from, because you know,
It was such
income
a-
was so. What's the
Like-
word?
changing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you never knew from one week to the next, really. But we always had lots to eat because you had your own
Yep.
chickens and pigs and big garden and
So it was all
cattle
you were
and.
pretty self-sufficient
Oh,
on the
we
farm.
were
right?
self-sufficient.
Everything was taken care
yeah,
of.
everything was. Yeah, yeah,
Good.
yeah. So we lived in quite a remote, dilapidated home for a lot of years until 1972. We
And
were
then you
married.
moved to.
We were married in 55, and then in 72 we built a new home on the farm, southwest of Simrick.
Okay.
And we lived there until 2007 when we moved into the manor here
Hmm.
in town, and that's when we
we
sold
were
our farm in
retired from farming in
92.
92.
92,
Yeah.
you retired. Well, that wasn't too long
But
ago.
we lived on the farm
Yeah.
up
Right.
until when we sold it, which kind of was a little easier making the adjustment.
Yeah.
And then we had a cottage for 34 years up at Last Mountain Regional Park,
Okay.
and enjoyed many, many years there.
Yeah.
And just sold it 4 years ago. So now we have one home here in Strasbourg, and we just
That's
love
enough.
where we are. It's wonderful.
Good.
Yeah. And what about you? What are you planning on doing when you're
I'm planning on finishing my high school and going to a university, probably.
good? Good. Yeah.
Getting a degree in something.
Well, you need a good education
Yeah, you
nowadays.
need an education for everything.
Yes, that's for
It's
sure.
hard to do anything. Can't even work at the co-op without good credits,
Oh, okay, that's
credibility.
good. Mm-hmm.
When I went to school, if you were a boy, once you had grade 8, you went home and you were a full-fledged farmer.
Yeah.
That was all the education you needed, eh?
Well,
Yeah.
that's all we got.
That's all. Yeah. You never, you know, years ago, you never had the opportunity to go to further your education or try out for something different. You know, it was just automatic
Yeah.
that you were.
You ended up doing that anyways.
I did, but like in Fred's case, he didn't. But I was the only one in my family that went further.
Well, when I think of it,
So-
there was only one family that I can think of that went to town and went to high school. Yeah.
Just
So how many siblings did you guys have? Like,
I had 2 sisters and a brother.
okay.
And I had 3 sisters and a brother.
Okay, because I know my grandparents, they had 9 siblings apiece,
Oh,
I think.
know.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, the families
Yeah.
were
Well,
huge.
one of them was French, so.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then we have 2 children.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
2 children and 2 grandchildren and 3 great-grandchildren.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys very much for talking with me. That was
that was
awesome.
interesting. Thank you. Yeah. And good
Thank
luck
you,
with
sir.
your
Thank you.
future education and
Yeah.
so on.
Be sure you get it.
Yeah, yes.